right in the heart with a silver bullet.
Yeah. I think they plotting on me. Don't bite their feet when they enter the L.A.R. I feel a cold stare. Think I ain't looking. Maybe because I'm focused. No hands out for the hopeless. Funny bullets, I caught them shots. Another piece of the puzzle connecting dots. You can find the truth of laughter and liquor. One more shot to an empty bottle. If you gon' walk there like a model for me, like I don't see her intentions all in my soul. At a time we were just friends, with advice to land. Nothing special, I was dead broke, but we still got hope. Don't take my words, just back and issue that raw dough. Just back and issue that raw dough. Back and issue that raw dough. To the people that listen to my people, they know that I do care. Put your hands in the air, rockin' side to side. Now my work, yeah, it's time to ride. Where my niggas at? My niggas ain't my niggas no more. Push me to the back, label to change up swag. I do it for us, I'm pro-black. Don't rock it the sheet get, wouldn't be so all type of African shit. Just rock it, they will fade, swagger tell me. Polo colors and fly kicks. Just polo colors and fly kicks. Exclusive shit, not get wet. Keep it coming, just don't stop. The revolution starts with shots.
I'm respectful to my people, and I want to represent my people, and I don't want to be a bad representative. I can't be blind, let the blind lead the blind, they all follow you.
Now my mama said, baby, act like you got sense. They act like I only act right for Lent. Been living in purgatory, but I'm nosing for heaven. Not sure if I'm getting in, cause I ain't paid a reference. Who looking at me when I ain't looking, judging my character? I can't put down my guard on this planet, packing the camera. Ready for my close-up, the lens gets bigger. Won't play me on BET, cause I am not a nigga. My heart is like a powder keg, ready to explode. Smell like strange fruit, cause I'm America's cologne. It started with the hello, think you're a nice fellow. You're ballin' like Carmelo, you choosing like Othello. L.A.R. we the stars, turn a rapper to a prophet. Bulletproof 306, keep your hands in your pocket. Jordan rules for my life, you contain them, can't stop them. I'm niggas sky high, so the clouds can't drop them. My life is like a miracle, my words are just imperial. I'm edible, I'm audible, I'm digital, I'm visual. Spit like Komodo, go like Bruce Lee, Roy B. And the mean as bad as Mofo in the dojo. Life is so amazing and raps like Jesus. They said hip-hop is dead, but today look like Easter.
Now I wake up in the morning, I'm black and handsome as ever. However, you see me as strange fruit, will it ever happen, not again. A crook and just a homicide, he know it's self-defense. But since I'm black and since he white, he got no common sense. That's 1969, and he ain't Jesus Christ. He ain't coming back on Easter, he ain't got a second life. You know I'm right? Hold up, look. Now the sirens in my window here, pull it over. License and registration, gun ain't never in the holster. Plus, that man black too, he wanna act too. A nigga with an attitude and a badge too. A couple tattoos, hoping I act a fool so he can squeeze too. But it ain't nothing different, they the same thing. They pull him over, he gon' get the same thing. Maybe 2 up in his brain, 21 gun salute. Last words was I'm a cop, he last heard fuck you. And he ain't coming back, you know I'm black like Jesus. But I ain't coming back for Easter, y'all say goodbye. Everybody cry, second line. But when the music stop, move on. Cause I ain't coming home, they know I'm black like Jesus. But I ain't coming back for Easter, everybody cry. Y'all say goodbye, second line. But when the music stop, move on. Cause I ain't coming home, I'm gone. And now she on welfare. Lost here, daddy can't live there. So he ain't there, and life ain't fair. But the food free, and the rent cheap. His roaches where you sleep. He still came around and taught you baseball. Bought a Barbie doll, he raised all of y'all. And now the kids adults, they both up in the court. She want that child support, he on that child support. But he ain't never taught him baseball, and she ain't never bought him Barbie dolls. They both never there, no, never, not at all. Saying, well, pull your pants up, go while your ass out. They looking back saying, why, y'all ain't never in the house. You got it backwards, don't you? I'm saying, cause we still preaching unity. And it's supposed to be family first in community. Got it in church to $1 for your blessing. We made in God's image, thinking we're Satan's mind. They got us crossed up, now Judas is Caesar. America bury me, but I ain't coming back for Easter. Yeah, they know I'm black like Jesus. But I ain't coming back for Easter, y'all say goodbye. Everybody cry, second line. But when the music stop, move on. Cause I ain't ain't coming home, they know I'm black like Jesus. But I ain't coming back for Easter, everybody cry. Y'all say goodbye, second line. But when the music stop, move on. Cause I ain't coming home, I'm gone.
What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Subscribe or die trying. Trying to figure this out right now to make sure this audio is right, because I'm on the phone right now. So what I'm saying is this. Shout out to Edward Edson, because I had a conversation with him earlier. Let me see if it's this. And I think it is. I don't know why. So here's the thing. Excuse me. I'm eating it, whatever. I'm about to stop. But we're going to talk about the new black and new black folks and how it's really messing up a lot of things with us as a community. Because what I'm seeing is we got black folks who are out of touch now because they don't really have a black experience anymore. So in one way, it's a good thing because you got people who weren't raised in the amount of adversity that we were raised in. They weren't raised in it. You know, they never dealt with it. They never touched it. They never had it. They never experienced some of the quote unquote horrors of racism in America the way that generations previously did. So when you hear people talking, for me, I have the issue where I'm listening to people and I'm like, oh, just black person, or you just an Americanized, assimilated black person. And now your idea of black is just you're black playing blackface. You're a black person trying to be black. And what you're trying to be is an image from Boys in the Hood, Menace to Society, rap videos, you know, TV shows that you liked or whatever. But you really don't have the experience that goes with it. And what I mean is, like me, I'm at the end of Gen X. Most guys in my generation, if you ask a black man in my generation, in my age group, I would say, 42 and up. When was the first time the cops pulled a gun on you for nothing? How many times the cops pulled a gun on you for nothing? You would get an answer across the board from pretty much every black man. No matter whether they city, country, whatever, it's happened. When I think about millennials and Gen Z, I think it's a mixed bag in millennials, and in Gen Z, it's a rare thing. It's a rare occurrence. So now, us as parents, and even some of us Gen X's grandparents, we like these kids they soft, man. They soft. These younger folks are soft, and on one end it's good because like, yo, you can say some of us are proud that younger people don't have to live in the conditions that we did, which means we raised the bar. We live better than our parents. We live better than our grandparents in some cases. Some of our grandparents lived well and our parents messed it up, and then we dealt with it, and now we live better than,
our parents and our grandparents. But what we're seeing is a bunch of people who got their Black reality from television and not actual Black experience. So when I say people, the new Black is out of touch, it's activism without adversity. It's even on the flip side of that, when people say they want to be conservative, a lot of those Black people are people who were raised in nice environments, and then they try to say, "Oh, I don't live the Black experience, so I'm better because we have higher family values." They're just a white person in Black skin trying to be Black in blackface when it's convenient for them. This is an occurrence that's happening way, way too much for me, which means I'm just getting older. Because I see young folks, trying to dress, quote unquote, urban and hood and street, and they ain't never been in the hood or street like that, but they're trying to take on a persona. And a lot of these people's parents are letting them do it without even saying, "Hey, man, no, that's not what we're doing here." A lot of y'all have no idea about some of the stunts I see you guys pull on social media that basically, you're trying to impress the most impoverished Black people by saying, "I'm Black too, look at the stuff I'm doing." It's like, bro, just because you changed your hairdo, that doesn't mean you have the Black experience. Just because you wore some Jordans, that doesn't mean you had the Black experience. Just because you listen to hip hop doesn't mean you had the Black experience. This is why I'm saying a lot of the people now are just they're white on the inside trying to be Black. It's like, yo, what are you doing? The same way when I was younger and I was a kid and I would meet like suburban white kids and they, "Yo, what's up, Holmes? How you doing? What's going on? I put shizzle my nizzle." We'd be like, what? Say, man, just act like you a normal person. You got Black people pulling that stunt. So when it comes to what's going on in Black America, you see the disconnect. Even when you talk about the political spectrum, when, well, all these Black people out here can't vote, and you don't have a car, and you gotta walk everywhere, and it's like, wait, time out. You talking about people, grandparents and great grandparents that live in the house, and they still live in the house, probably in the hood. You're not talking about regular Black people, man. For all of y'all who your family from the hood, but you not from the hood, and you don't really go back to the hood, and they take you back to the hood and you act uncomfortable, so now you better than everybody because you had really nice parents, don't want to hear it. And a lot of folks, if I'm gonna put this into it, you got a lot of people who, you might come from a single mother household as a Black person, but you're not about to tell everybody that your single parent household was in a pretty nice area. That was your Black experience. Because see, and what I'm about to say is some of the differences. It's see, I grew up where the family was a unit, even if it was at odds, and your neighbors would take care of the kids. And you know what I'm saying? And the quote unquote respect your elders. And at the same time, I grew up on the blocks we were shooting all the time. So a lot of y'all have this idea, this fantasy of Black America. And it's like, bro, obviously you really didn't come up like that. And what I mean is, and I'm gonna be extreme when I say this, being Black don't mean you was raised in a crack house. And for all you who believe that people was raised in crack houses, you on crack. In the 80s and 90s. No. You did a crack house. But a lot of y'all, people could have been on crack, but the kids wasn't there. So that's a whole nother experience. So now we got this issue that I keep seeing over and over and over again, where you got black people not understanding black people. And the reason why I use the thumbnail of the movie The Blackening, and I remember when I saw it, it was supposed to be funny, but it was a bunch of black people making 1990-ish black remarks, and they're probably in their 20s. So it's kind of like me, being born in the late 70s, walking up to my parents, "What's up, Jack? What's going down, home?" Like, no. So it lost its touch. I remember an older lady talking about how she doesn't like gospel music because it doesn't have an anointing, because it's lost the feeling. And what I mean by, the new black is out of touch, the soul is missing. My dog is a trip. The soul is missing. It's all an emulation of something. So when I grew up, you gotta understand, I grew up in the South, on the East, and in the Midwest. I didn't grow up in the West, but I understand this, but I have family in the West. We were all black, and I saw three of the different areas of Black America. We all had our own different things going on. I had family in the city, I had family in the country. We had different things going on. Now what you're seeing is just, I don't care if you're from the country or from the city, you're having black people looking the same, dressing the same, acting the same, emulating the same exact thing, saying they have the same exact experience. And I'm like, you're full of it. You don't have a black experience now. You're making yourself have what you think is a stereotypical black experience, and now you're making it a black experience. You see, instead of having adversity because of racism in America, you're creating adversity for yourself and labeling it racism. That's not how it goes. So when I'm saying like the new black is out of touch, it's out of touch. Let me put my dog outside. That's why I was saying, even with the music, the music is hilarious to me because it's so hood, and it's so hood that it's not hood at all. And the reason why I can say it's not hood at all is because, hold on for a second. The reason I can say it's not hood at all is because of one factor. These people are just making up stuff as they go. Oh, I'm slinging crack. Okay. Oh, I got a bat. Oh, I'm smoking that. Like, shut up. You can tell. Go. I had to let my dog out. Excuse that. And the reason I can say that is y'all are emulating an idea of blackness. That's y'all emulating gangster rap. Y'all not emulating blackness. That's where all the tattoos come from now. That's where all the gold teeth and grills come from. That's where all the dreads come from now. It's just emulating rappers. And rappers are a segment of black culture, but it's not black culture. So you out of touch. And when people go, I'm not feeling that. And some of y'all are like, what? You like Joe Biden. You ain't ignorant. You ain't black. No, B. I'm not acting like you. See, a lot of y'all wanted a certain life. And I saw this when I was younger. When I saw, young men and women, I want to emulate certain rappers. They grew up out of that. Y'all not growing up out of that. Y'all just staying in that same thing. The worldview isn't what it used to be. Now it's just, everything is flat blackness where everything is a stereotype of everything. See, in New Orleans, they second line. In Chicago, you step. In the DMV, you got house music and go-go. They got house music in Chicago too, so they kind of similar to that. But but it's three different music cultures. Three. It's three different styles of accents. It's three different slangs. You know, people wore gold tooth when I was a kid in New Orleans. Gold teeth was a part of New Orleans culture. New Orleans and Miami, you know, Louisiana and Florida wore gold teeth. 80s, 70s, 80s, that's what that was. You can say some of the South too, Mississippi, Alabama. I'm pretty sure they had some of that. But the dreadlock thing, no. The crazy name thing, no. Man, I don't do no Zydeco, man. Zydeco for people who want to live off beat. That's just white people playing the guitar crazy. You know, second line and it's bounce. Jazz, second line, bounce. Zydeco came from people who just wanted to partying with white folks in the country. You want to dance all beat? Do this Zydeco with me. But Zydeco is Creole. Yeah, okay. I'm Creole. Zydeco wasn't a thing until 2000. So if you're going to be honest with it, Zydeco wasn't a thing until the 2000s. Because it was bounce music in Louisiana that was prominent. And second line music. Nobody gets, well, I can't speak for Shreveport, Lafayette, Lake Charles. I can't speak for that. It's Shreveport, but I can tell you from New Orleans, Baton Rouge, Zydeco wasn't a thing. Zydeco wasn't a thing. Exactly. That's okay. Your family's from where? Exactly. In New Orleans, Zydeco wasn't a thing. That was outside of New Orleans. It was the outskirts, the country. That was my point. But let's get back to the topic. But they had a different experience. They had a different experience, different slang, different culture, different everything. You know, that wasn't a how can I say this? That wasn't it wasn't the exact same culture. I couldn't, if I went to Chicago and everybody was acting like people in New Orleans and everybody in DC was acting like people in New Orleans, then I would say something wrong. But now that's what you get. You get people in Alabama acting like, you know, their favorite rappers. You got people in St. Louis acting like, you know, this black person, you know, black people from Atlanta. It's like, yo, time out. It's different cultures. What are y'all doing? What happened to you being proud of where you're at and where you're from and what goes down where you at? That's the issue. That became the issue. So when I say the new black is out of touch, it's because the originality is gone. The pride from where you're from is gone. The innovation is gone. Y'all don't really, like, I see it. People don't really have an era anymore because it's all the same thing. You know, oh, using music as a reference. Oh, we got drill, and now New York got drill, and now London got drill, and it's like, what are y'all doing? And now white boys is singing drill. And it's like, what happened to being your damn self and representing where you from? So now, you know, part of being black is just being like the next black person that you like from whatever place they are. Let me tell you something. Like, all of this stuff would not be a thing. Yeah, exactly. Followers. I can tell you now. Let me get my dog. Come on. My dog tripping. But I can tell you right now, there wouldn't have been a time, you know, where the whole nation would have wore Pooh Shiesty mask. For I can't say that. I take that back. No, I can't say that. I actually can say that because I remember when Tupac had the bandana thing. Everybody wasn't rocking the bandana thing. I remember when Biggie had the Coogee sweater thing. Everybody wasn't doing the Coogee sweater thing. It wasn't a coast to coast thing. You know what I'm saying? I would say 2000s, DMX came out. Guys, I would see guys who wear chains or dog chains, but it wasn't a norm. You're not gonna just, every guy gonna have a dog chain. Not finna happen. The only trend that I saw that everybody did was when Jay-Z did the wear the button-up shirt thing. That was it. That was it. You know. So what I'm saying is, when it comes to us relating to each other, even with the men and the women, it's out of touch because people are living with fantasies. People are on social media, but they're really socially awkward, and they hiding behind an image of blackness. So now your black experience comes from your little fantasy image that you made for yourself. It's not actually you. It's not you, the person, going through this thing with this person. It's you, the person, who black in blackface, trying to date that person who black in blackface, and then you going, oh, it's not working out the way I thought. Well, yeah, I mean, you ain't being you, and they ain't being them. That's what's happening. You out of touch. You scared to be yourself, and that's becoming a huge problem. Well, it's not becoming. It has became a huge problem in our society. So what are we gonna do about it? Most people, nothing. Because the last time I checked, most people didn't want to do anything. Most people still want to play this game. Fashion changes, haircuts change. Music changes. But a person's soul is pretty much their soul. Their character is pretty much their character. And if you're out of touch with reality, your character is out of touch. Exactly. So a lot of people don't realize, like you said earlier, they've been programmed. You programmed to be black. You programmed to be, I don't know, hood rat black. And you don't even realize, oh, that's why we got issues. A lot of y'all ain't, y'all don't understand. And me as a parent, I gotta say this is part of our fault. We understood our parents and our grandparents' struggles because the older generation made us understand. They sat us down, they told us what to do, what not to do, what they went through, what they didn't went through. We didn't want to, some of us don't admit that, but a person like me, a lot of us was raised by our grandparents. I'm one of them. So our experiences are, what to do and what not to do from their perspective of the life they live. And you had to realize, we don't live in Jim Crow no more. So I know where they're coming from, but some of this stuff, I got to retrofit to the current times. But other stuff is the principle stays the same. So now we got an issue. Now we got a huge, huge issue because now I'm looking at black people myself like, you ain't black enough. Not you ain't black enough because you too light. Not you ain't black enough because I'm from the hood and you not. No, you're not black enough because you haven't had an actual black experience in your life. You've had a suburban experience, or you've had an American experience, but you've been sheltered from a black experience. I'm not even talking about just the negativity of it. You've been sheltered from the positive stuff. A lot, like I can tell, a lot of folks haven't went to with all the HBCUs in America, I can tell a lot of y'all haven't even went to one of their classics to see, oh man, that's how we get down? Whoa. 9 times out of 10, it'll be people who are from the country that have that experience more than people from the city. And the reason I can tell you is because, you know, I can say over the years, America got watered down and basically robotic and lost its soul as far as just a country allowing ingenuity. But for the Black experience, you know, what happened to the Indiana Expo? You know, Magic City Classic, Bayou Classic, Liberty City Classic. Is it the Liberty City Classic? Liberty Classic. It's, you know, all the classics from Texas all the way to Florida, from the South all the way up to Delaware. You know, they're really not out west though. But you got them in the Midwest. So now, you know, it's like, yo, what are y'all doing? And since everybody's in a house, since everybody's on a phone, since everybody's playing video games, since everybody's just on YouTube all the time, you're not interacting with Black America. Now, I saw something today. I think it was on SWP's page where he uploaded, like, he saw dudes, you know, basically getting themselves beat up and shot up on social media. And this is what I mean by, you know, the new Black is out of touch. You got guys filming themselves doing dirt and telling somebody, yo, y'all ain't gonna do nothing. Y'all ain't gonna come get me. I'm right here. And I'm thinking to myself, let me explain something to y'all. And y'all in a car doing this stuff. Let me explain something to y'all. Even those young men don't realize 25 years ago, they probably wouldn't even have a car. They would have been walking. They wouldn't be riding through nobody's hood. Because 9 times out of 10, they would have been walking. See, we've got far more Black kids. And the positive thing is the Black society financially is further than it was 30, 40, 50, 60 years ago. So now, like you said, these people, it's a lot of spoiled brats because their norm is different. You know, it was rare when I was a teenager that a 16-year-old was going to get a car. That was rare. You know, like, you got a what? It was rare if you was in college and had a car. It was rare. It was rare that you can be an adult and your parents would pay your rent either while you're in school or when you first get out of school to get on your feet. That was rare. It was rare that your family would let you would let you make mistake after mistake after mistake in life and actually foot the bill for it because you can't just get it together. It was rare. Let me back up and say it this way. Because when I said like the rap culture thing, when I said a lot of y'all act like want to run around acting like, you know, Black America is the movie Menace to Society or Boys in the Hood or Belly or something like that. I'm gonna say it this way: for all y'all cats who think y'all smoking weed in the car, rolling blunts in public and smoking them, you know what I'm saying, drinking, public intoxication, getting drunk. Let me explain something: gang banging, dope dealing. I want you to take a good look at them movies from back then, since a lot of y'all think that's what it is to be Black. Look at the movie again and you're going to notice something. The vast majority of them people lived on their own. You didn't see their family in those dang old movies for the most part. You know why? Because they couldn't live with their families. You know why? Because their family put them out. In the hood. You can't be selling dope in my house. You got to go. You can't be gang banging in my house. You got to go. You get what I'm saying? You can't be out here getting high all the time. You gotta go. You want to get high in your home. You want to be a drunk, or you have to be a drunk in your own house. You gotta go. So if you actually thought people was just walking around smoking and drinking, it's just like now. You got to smoke out in public and drink out in public because you ain't got nowhere to go. That's what it was. When we were younger, and the reason why I say it's different because it's out of touch is because when we were younger, we interacted with kids. If you play sports, you interacted with kids from different neighborhoods. The kids that are y'all on the same level, the kids you might be poured in, the kids that have way more than live way better than you ever lived. We interacted with all of those folks. And the one thing we saw about the kids who had lived in a good neighborhood, they did a lot of dumb stuff. Their addictions were ridiculous. I'm addicted to pills and I'm addicted to this. And they're like, what? We have to go to rehab. Rehab? What are you talking about? I'm on those prescriptions. I see kids when I graduated high school in 97, it was kids in the 90s, that had anxiety and they didn't know what to do. And usually they were suburban, 2-parent household. I don't know what I'm gonna do in my life because my parents are super successful and I don't have this type of work ethic. So they started freaking out because they couldn't keep up their own lifestyle as an adult that they are accustomed to. So they started freaking out and being screw ups. That's what we see now with Black kids, young men and young women. I got anxiety. I don't know what to do. I know, because your parents have you living better than they live, and now you're accustomed to a certain lifestyle, and now you're too lazy to actually make that lifestyle for yourself. So you're freaking out. So now you're trying to be the most hood of Black people in your mind to justify you being a failure. That's what's happening. And a lot of people, and a lot of people still live in the hood, but see, there's a difference now. There are people who we lived in the hood because that's where we live. You really couldn't go that many other places. The hood wasn't super violent all the time. Truth be told, since y'all know the hood so well, the hood had the best food because we had like mom and pop takeout spots. So all the stuff you see now that y'all consider American hood food, we got wings all the time, rib tips, fries, all kinds of stuff. Like we used to get the candy, the penny candy, 100 candies for $1. Sometimes they throw cookies in it. We had a great childhood, and it was shootouts, it was gang banging, it was drug addicts, it was dope houses, dope fiends. People, kids wasn't getting kidnapped at the rate that they getting kidnapped now. They wasn't, and we was outside. Now crackheads will steal your stuff because Lord knows crackheads stole my stuff. Crackheads stole my bike like a mother, riding off 2 grown crackheads. By the way, boy, I wish you old people was alive and I saw y'all. I'll beat you down. I'll beat you to within an inch of your life at this day. I don't care that you're in your 60s. But we have enjoyed life. A lot of us grew up poor and we didn't know we was poor until we got around people who had money. We would ask for stuff, we wouldn't get it. And then we realized sometimes we was poor and it was okay. It was okay. It was okay. So now we have issues. And the issue we have is what? Being Black is not what it used to be. Not what it used to be. Because I'm going to tell you, this flat blackness thing is like, our parents would smack the taste out of your mouth if you got a tattoo on your face. It's not happening. See, We went from a generation of parents who even just naming kids. I'm gonna have to get off here and come back. Hold on. Just hold on. Just hold. Check. Okay. Um, where was I? Okay. Being black had great things. Like I grew up in a generation where you got whipped in school by the teachers. You out of pocket, the teacher gonna handle it. I mean, I was still at the tail end of the generation where your neighbors didn't whip you at that point, but your neighbors told your parents, and your parents were like, "What? Oh, okay, it's on. It's on. No. See, like a lot of you young folks think being black and being black kids is having a bad attitude around here. No, if you was a child and you was talking to adults crazy, if you 6 years old and you cuss out an adult, you're gonna get smacked in the face as a kid by an adult. You grown enough to talk crazy, you grown enough to get slapped in the face. And the family like, that's what you get. See, that was just the disciplinary side of it. But the black experience was also, I can tell it's gone because I don't hear no music playing on Saturday and Sunday. I only see people cleaning the house and playing music on Sunday. I don't smell the food in the neighborhood cooking on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That don't happen no more. I don't hear the barbecues as like they used to have. Don't hear none of that. I don't see as many friends coming over and people having get-togethers and people having a good time with everybody's families, grown folks and kids, and let the kids go play off. That don't happen as much as you used to. People got isolated. And since people was isolated, you don't have as much interaction. And because you don't have as much interaction, y'all don't really know, like, y'all really don't know how many genius level black people out here. Y'all really don't. Y'all really don't know how many black folks out here actually came from humble beginnings and actually doing it. Like, what y'all see now is people complaining that they weren't rich enough as kids, and they were actually well off. That's what you're seeing now. Part of the idea of you seeing people now like, I'm not having kids. A lot of the people who don't want to have kids now, and don't get it twisted, the cost of living is crazy. But part of y'all not want to have kids is, for one, you selfish because you've been a baby of the family. A lot of y'all been baby, be the responsible one in the whole family because it can't be about you 24/7. So you're a problem. A lot of y'all, y'all don't have the. My grandparents took me to church as a child. Y'all don't go to. Look, I'm a grown man. Don't go to church like that. But y'all can't think about y'all grandparents taking y'all to church. Y'all grandparents teaching you how to cut grass. And your grandparents teaching you how to cook dinner. Your grandparents teaching you manners. Your parents doing the same thing. Y'all don't even have that experience no more. It's all isolated. Instagram, Facebook, FaceTime, phone, video games. And we grew up on video games, by the way. Atari was before I knew anything. I was like, huh? I didn't even, when the first Nintendo came out, my cousin suckered my mother into buying it for my birthday, and it was for him. We grew up on video games, but guess what? Video games came after school, after practice, after homework. We didn't rush home just to play video games every day. That's not what we did. That's not what we did. They used to tell us, hey, man, you got to be twice as good to get half as much to being black in America. And now that still exists, but what they're not telling y'all is y'all got way more opportunity to get it. Like if my grandparents were alive right now, because I remember this, like my grandparents, my great grandparents, my great uncles, my great aunts, when it came to, I would say, really it was millennials. They wasn't feeling them. They'd be like, hey man, I'm 60, 70 years old. Why am I taking care of your baby and you 30? Like, what is your problem? Why you no, we're not doing this. Why are you still hitting the club and asking me for money? We're not doing this. See, I remember old folks telling these young, hey man, let me explain something to you. Because what y'all don't realize is, and as a person who's raised by their grandparents, if your grandparents had to raise you because your parents weren't raising you, your grandparents loved you, but they made your parents uncomfortable because grandparents were like, hey, let me explain something to you. I'm taking care of your baby. You better shut up because this is your job. They love their kids, they love their grandkids, but they let the I don't even want to hear it. You effing up because I got to take care of your kids. I took care of you, and you see I wasn't dropping you off at my parents, but I'm taking care of your kids. You need to get it together. But now y'all letting these people do whatever they want to do and claim they're grown, but still run back to y'all, and y'all don't make them feel uncomfortable. See, that's why I said the black experience is different. There were things that you were gonna have to deal with because you were black, that you didn't have to throw no unnecessary sauce on it. Prime example, when I was about to talk about the names. It wasn't until maybe, I would say, maybe the 2000s when I really started hearing these really out of pocket names. Because I can tell you now, parents and grandparents like, nah, that kid ain't gonna get a job with that name. The same thing that people complain about now, if it's a black name on an application, they're not gonna get a job. They knew that in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, and the 90s. That's why they wouldn't name people certain things. That's why you're gonna see after a certain age, maybe 85 or something, I don't know, the names just started going worse and worse and worse. You're like, wait a minute. That's why you see people who are black with just regular old names, and then you see people with black like, what? What is your name? What the fuck is that? Because their parents didn't give a I'm gonna name my kid Unique Wakanda. It's like, oh yeah. The grandparents would have been the parents. That person's parents would have said, hey man, what is Unique Wakanda? Your name ain't Unique Wakanda, it's Wanda. The closest to a hood name that was Isha. It was either Keisha, Isha, or Aisha. Isha was bad because it wasn't Keisha or Aisha. But you knew all of them was bad. But guess what they would do? You would name your kids something, even a girl, they would have, Yolanda. Kind of like or some type of a black person with like a German name or a Russian name or Margarita or something like it'd be a Spanish name, but it's a black person, a Spanish first name. That's where you get the Juans and the Julio. That's where you get all that from. You didn't get all this extra stuff because the parents and the grandparents knew, no, we're not finna mess up this kid's life by naming them that. Think about it. Just look at sports. Look at sports. Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, you know what I'm saying? Jerry Rice, Deion Sanders. Deion was that was you like Deion, yeah, he from the hood. Yeah, he from Allen Iverson, regular name. See when he got the Carmelo and LeBron, something completely different. That's when you started getting, Ron Artest, regular name. Regular name. Steph Curry, 2-parent household. His real name is Wardell. That's why he wanted to be called Steph. Because Dale is Wardell. That's an old black name. Irvin Magic Johnson, regular name. Isaiah Thomas, it was biblical. We had biblical names. So now when y'all making up stuff, think about it. Biggie, Christopher Wallace, Tupac, but it was a Spanish name. Your favorite rapper, Sean Carter, regular name. Dwayne Carter, regular name. They knew. Grandmama, Larry, Lawrence, regular name. Shaq was like the first thing when people saw Shaq, like Shaq. Kicked off, was like, who is Shaq? Shit, what? But he was so big, I'm gonna say Shaq. That big. He's 7 feet 10 and 372 pounds. I'm gonna just call him, hey, Shaq. Yeah, okay. That was the first time that I could think of. People had nicknames, but not first names that was out of pocket. So, because you didn't need the extra sauce on it because you already knew, he's going to be, boy, we black, boy. Name. And Ronnie Fields, who y'all don't know unless you know Chicago basketball history, that was his teammate, regular name. Even Derrick Rose, his parents knew, man, look, we in the shy. We got enough to deal with. Regular. A lot of y'all be trying to be hood. So the black experience is completely different now because y'all reaching, man. That's why, like I said, when I talked about the music, that's why I can't listen to it now. It's because it's really no soul. Because y'all really, our culture has become the black socially awkward, the black suburban, and the black incel trying to emulate what they think black is from staying in the house all the damn time. Just like these young cats in the hood now, or that ain't even hood. This whole gun thing where everybody got to have a gun, everybody got to have a blicky on, everybody got to be a shooter. Whether y'all know this or not, if somebody walked up to you to fight you, and you didn't want to fight them because you had a gun, people will say, okay, he got a gun, man. It is what it is. And if you were willing to use a gun on a dude in a street fight, understand something. Even though you had the gun, you were viewed as a bitch. You weren't a real when you were a bitch. You was a bitch ass nigga with a gun who was scared to fight. You might have shot somebody. You could have killed somebody. You were still considered the bitch ass nigga with a gun that shot somebody. The bitch ass nigga with a gun that killed somebody. All this walking around acting all hard because you got a gun on you. No. That's not how it went down, dog. That is not what happened. All the kids walk around with knives and guns. I'm a killer. No, you're not. You a scared little bitch. Right. Tupac's character, Bishop. He got a gun and became a thug. He was a bitch as a character in the beginning. He was always talking shit to people and about to get fucked up and waiting on his friends to help him. And then the gun made him a man. Like he was a bitch. But people don't realize, see, y'all were glorifying people being suckers. And y'all didn't know people were being suckers. So that's why I say it's different now. But I'm going to get up out of here, man. Like, share, subscribe, or die trying. Catch y'all on the next one, man. Peace.
It looks like a job for Superman.
Spoken from the lips
of the young
Yes, I'm
or the
serious.
old, fear of me.
Yeah. Gotta put it all in.
And they are Superman.
All the way.
I guess I'm taking off the cake through the glasses in the trash. Being super is great, saving y'all is such a drag. Even God took a break, me I ain't coming back. I got one life to live, if you don't like it, that's your ass. Cause nobody saved me, plus when I'm drunk I'm just a peon. I could use somebody just like I'm the Kings of Neon. This world is cold as ice, mixed with salt, mixed with Freon. They got me pissed off, but that's better than being peed on. For eons, human beings took kindness for weakness. When you constipated, you start to appreciate shit. Put before you life and death, and you just gotta choose. The kryptonite life means you should follow the rules. If your credit's messed up or your bills ain't paid, then it's getting disconnected. Can't nobody say the day. And I can fly, leave a building in a single bound, but I can't stand fair weather friends, and I just fly around. My super friends in Justice League, only folk I kick it with. Kill Lex Luthor, so what? We had to finish it. Kids play games and adults play for keeps. And me, I play to win, but I ain't playing in these streets. And life is not a joke, then again it ain't this serious. Superman can say the day, but God can say the Superman. Saga of the kryptonite, life just ended. You enjoy listening? Man, I finished it.
Lois, come holler at me. I got an ice couch. Thank you for coming out, listening. I knew you would like it because we made it. I'm so frigid and so fly.